Hello students, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Unacademy. This is a very special class on Prosody. Yes, Rui, good afternoon. Welcome. Today is my PPT visible, right? So, good afternoon, Ranu. Welcome. In my previous class, I have already covered important figures of speech, that is rhetoric. And in today's class, we will cover prosody. Okay? यस मैम, आज ट्यूसडे है ना? हाँ रूबी, आज ट्यूसडे है। ट्यूसडे मेरी स्पेशल क्लास नहीं होता रूबी, यूट्यूब में रहता है। गुड आफ्टरनून कविता। यस मैं ठीक हूँ बेटा, मैं ठीक हूँ। आप कैसे हो? ओके, सो before starting, I want to give you a brief introduction about myself. My name is Brishti Mukherjee. I have qualified NTA UGC NET exam in English literature 3 times and West Bengal state exam this year. I have 10 months of teaching experience. I have also taught NPTEL online course from IIT Madras 3 times. Hello Savitri, good afternoon. Welcome. First of all, I need to talk to you about Unacademy. If you want to access Unacademy learning app, first of all, you need to go to Google Play Store where you can search for this app and you can install it. Then you should click on the category of NTA UGC NET. Yes, Ruby. Thank you. Okay. So, and if you want to take subscription, you can choose for 12 months or 24 months subscription plan. If you use my referral code Brishti10, you will get 10% discount in your overall price. And this is my profile on Unacademy Learning app. So please click on the follow button so that you will be notified every time I post a new special class. So please join Unacademy. It is the largest learning platform in India. It will definitely help you to crack your desired exam. Now, as per the new initiative of Unacademy, maybe you need to put a specific code to unlock the Unacademy free classes. Okay, unlock the free plan. So you can use my referral code also to unlock your free classes. Okay, so that's it for Unacademy, and now we will start our topic. Hello Rupali, good afternoon. So, first of all, you need to know what is prosody. This is the basic introduction. What is prosody? Okay. Now, is my PPT visible clearly to all of you? एक बार सभी कंफर्म कर दो, फिर मैं स्टार्ट करूंगी. PPT is visible clearly? Savitri, Ranu, Rupali, Ruby, is PPT visible clearly? Okay. So, first of all, you need to know what is prosody. So, the word prosody, okay, Ranu, thank you. So, the word prosody has come from the Greek word prosodia. Okay. So, prosody, the English word prosody has come from Greek word prosodia, which means a song sung to music. Okay. Which means a song sung to music. And it deals with the structure of verses. Okay. So, prosody talks about the pattern or the structure of poetry. So, rhetorics and prosody both are two important things specifically for poetry. Okay, Savitri, okay. So specifically for poetry, so what we have learned in rhetoric, that rhetoric actually helps us to ornament our language, right? To use some kind of ornamented language, decorated language in poetry and literature. That is the purpose of rhetoric. Now, prosody is absolutely for poetry, okay, for writing verses. And prosody deals with the structure of verses. So it has everything about the pattern of poetry, how the rhythm can be formed, okay. So everything is inside prosody. Now, actually the word prosody has come from this Greek word prosodia, which means a song sung to music. Okay, so it refers to some melody. That is the meaning of prosody. Now, prosody has two important elements, quantity and accent. So, accent means stress. I will talk about that. And quantity means the number of lines here. Okay. So, depending on the number of lines, depending on the length of the poem, actually the prosody, the prosodic scansion is actually done. Okay. So, this is a basic introduction regarding prosody. Now we will talk about each aspect of prosody one by one. Okay. So first of all, you need to know what is syllable. Syllable is a very important term which we use in prosody. So what is syllable? Syllable means a sound or a combination of sounds which can be pronounced at a stretch without taking any break in between. So syllable means a particular portion of a word. It may be a single word or part of some words. So syllable means a particular portion of a word which can be pronounced at a stretch without taking any break in between. So that particular sound or combination of sounds is called syllable. So any kind of word is formed of some syllables. Okay, maybe it is of one syllable or many syllables. So syllable is a very basic thing for any word. It refers to a particular part of word or maybe a single word which can be pronounced at a stretch. Okay, which cannot be divided actually. That is called syllable. Okay. Now moving on to next concept. Next you need to know types of syllable. Now words are words have many types of syllables, right? So you need to know all the types. Now why syllable is important? Syllable is important because based on this syllable we do actually accent and the prosodic scansion. Okay. So now first of all, monosyllable. What is monosyllable? Mono means one, right? Mono means one. So monosyllable means a word of only one syllable, where only one syllable is there. For example, bat, rat, cook, hill, pen, book, etc. So when we pronounce these kind of words, we don't take any break in between. Bat can be pronounced at a stretch. Cook can be pronounced at a stretch, right? Book, hill, pen, there is no need to take any break, right? So these are all monosyllabic words, where the one single word which can be pronounced without any break, that is monosyllabic word, right? Now next is disyllabic word. What is disyllabic? Di means two, right? So disyllabic means a word of two syllables. For example, after. So after, two syllable. We can take a break in between, right? Now next is something. So some and thing. Something, two syllables. Okay. Stomach. Stomach, two syllable. Story. Story, two syllable. Okay. Then temper. Tem and per, trisyllabic word. Then if you say respect. Respect. So actually we are pronouncing at a stretch, but you can differentiate it if you want. Respect. Then result, a very famous word for all of you, result. So result. result, disyllabic words, right? So in monosyllabic word, actually there is a single word comprising of only one syllable, and in disyllabic word you will find two syllables, right? So these are the example. After, something, stomach, story, temper, respect, result. These are all disyllabic words. Dangerous word. Ruby? Yes. No, result is, yes, result is obviously a very fearful and dangerous word. Okay. So next is trisyllabic word. Now tri means three. So what is trisyllabic word? A word of three syllables. For example, beautiful. Beautiful. Three syllable is there. Right. Next is delightful. Delightful. Three syllable word. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Then usefulness. Usefulness. So always confuse karte hain. Okay. So now I will request all of you to give some more examples of these three types of syllabic words. So now this will remove all kinds of confusions and doubts. So please give me some example of monosyllable, disyllable or trisyllabic word very first. There are so many words, you can do that. So please give me some examples, then I will move forward. आप लोग भी कुछ एग्जाम्पल दो ताकि मैं इससे बाद में मूव कर सकूं. तो पहले मुझे थोड़ा एग्जाम्पल दो मोनोसिलेबल, डाइसिलेबल और ट्राइसिलेबिक वर्ड्स का. कोई भी. निशिता, हेलो निशिता, गुड आफ्टरनून. Nishita, Kavita, Ruby, everybody, please give me at least one example. Yes, cat is monosyllabic. Very good. Then di or trisyllabic. Before, yes, before is disyllabic. Before, yes, disyllabic. Hat, mat, mono. Yes, yes. Hat, mat, they are all monosyllabic. Mono, cat, disyllabic, exploit. Trisyllabic, brightfulness. Yes, Ruby, absolutely. Nishita, trisyllabic, temperature. No, Nishita, temperature is actually tetrasyllabic. 4 syllable. Temperature. There are 4 syllable. This is not trisyllabic, this is tetrasyllabic. Okay. Dia se kite, reduce, reproduce. Yes, Kavita. Reproduce can be trisyllabic. Reproduce. Yes, that is good. Naughty. Naughty. Yes, naughty can be disyllabic. Yes. Okay. So, education. Education. Education is tetrasyllabic. Yes, Ruby. Yes, education is tetrasyllabic. Mono, car. Yes, Ruby. Education is tetrasyllabic. Yes, you are right. Education. Yes, it is tetrasyllabic. Now, Ranu has given example. Monosyllabic car. Yes, disyllabic colorful. 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 No, I think this is trisyllabic, Ranu. Colorful is trisyllabic. And expectation. This is actually tetrasyllabic word, like temperature. Expectation. Okay, this is tetrasyllabic. Horrible. No, Rupali, they are actually easy, but you need to just practice it. Yes, it often confuses. Kavita, trisyllabic, awesome. Awesome. Awesome is a disyllabic, Kavita. Awesome, if you say aw and some, it is disyllabic. Okay. And then sincere. Yes, sincere is also disyllabic. Respectful. Yes, this is trisyllabic. Respectful. Okay. Syllables are defined by the phonetic sounds, right, ma'am? The vowel sounds. Yes, more or less that. Actually, syllables means, as I have said, that a particular portion of the word which you can pronounce at a stretch, that is syllable. Okay. So, yes, tetrasyllabic is horrible. Okay, Rupali. So, now I will move on to tetrasyllable. I have actually only taught about mono, di, and tri. Now we will move on to tetrasyllable. Nishita has given an example. Principal, trisyllable. Yes, Nishita. Principal can be trisyllable. Okay, very good. So now we will move on to tetrasyllable. Rupali's horrible thing. Now, tetrasyllable means, yes, a word having 4 syllables. For example, melancholy. Melancholy. Okay, 4 syllables. Disyllabic, teacher. Yes, Rani. Teacher is disyllabic. Very good. Tetrasyllabic, photography. Photography. Tetrasyllable. Okay. Then information. You often use this word. Very often. Information. So, information. Tetrasyllable. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Okay. They are all tetrasyllable. Ruby has written at one point dangerous, right? So, dangerous is actually trisyllabic. Yes. Dangerous. Dangerous. This is trisyllabic. Yes, this is not tetrasyllable, this is trisyllable. Okay. So, horrible. Horrible. No, horrible. This is trisyllabic, Rupali. Horrible is not tetra. Horrible is trisyllabic. Horrible. Okay. So, these are all tetrasyllabic words. Now, there are pentasyllabic words also. Melodramatic. Melodramatic. Pentasyllable. Okay. Then university. Very, very common word for all of you. So, university. 5 syllable. Now, classification. Classification. 5 syllable. Okay. Individual. Individual. 5 syllable. So, these are all up to pentasyllabic is important, but after pentasyllabic, the words which have more than 5 syllables that are called polysyllabic word. Okay. That are called polysyllabic. Polysyllabic word. Okay. So, tetrasyllable, pentasyllable. Any example for pentasyllabic words? These are all long words. Tetrasyllable you have already given. Any example for pentasyllabic? Anybody? 5 syllables. Any example for pentasyllabic words? Communication. Yes, very good, Nishita. Communication is also pentasyllable. Communication. Yes, very good. Communication. Exclamatory. Exclamatory. Yes, very good. Exclamatory. Yes, Ruby, very good. This is also pentasyllabic. So, we often use these words, right? These are very common, but we never think about the syllables. We are actually pronounced at a stretch. But if you can divide the words, there will be some syllables. So, when you will do prosodic scansion, this kind of syllable division is very important, right? So, mainly there are total 5 syllabic words. Mono, di, tri, tetra and penta. There are also hexasyllabic word and many more, but we always call it, yes, polysyllabic words. Yes. After 5, we will call it polysyllabic, which has many syllables. Yes, Sanskrit language has lots of polysyllabic words. Yes, Ruby. Okay. So, this is about syllables. Now, next is accent and foot. These are very common words used in prosody. So, what is accent and what is foot? Accent means a special type of stress. Stress on a particular word. Now, accent means that a particular syllable of a word which is pronounced with some force. to differentiate it from other words. So you all know that we often say this, that English is an accented language, right? We often say that English is an accented language. So what does that mean? That in English words, we often use accented words, which means stressful words. A particular part of the word is stressed, and it mainly happens in prosody. So we normal people actually do not use the stress properly, but if you hear the English words from an Englishman or from any foreigner, okay, so you can understand how stressful English language is. If you hear some lectures given by some foreign university professors, you will understand that. Okay, so these are all that is why English is called accented language, right? So accent is actually a special type of stress, a particular syllable of a word which is pronounced with some force, okay, and to differentiate it from other words. To emphasize on a particular word, or to give emphasis on a particular syllable, we use accents, right? Now what is foot? Foot is actually a group of accented and unaccented syllables. This is foot. Okay, foot has also many types. Okay, so foot mainly comprises of 2 or 3 syllables in a poem, and without 2 syllables a foot cannot be created. So to create any foot, 2 syllables are needed. Okay, so with 2 syllables a foot can be formed, and foot can be a group of accented and unaccented syllables. Okay, so you can see that doing prosody we often use this sign, right? So this actually signifies one foot. When we give this sign, this means the first foot is ended here, this is the second foot, this is the third foot, this is the fourth foot. Now as I have talked about syllables, similarly foot has also different types. If there is only one slash, it is a monosyllabic foot. If there is only 2 slash, it is disyllabic foot. Okay, if there is 3 slash, it will be trisyllabic foot. Then 4 slash, tetrasyllabic foot. Okay, so these kind of divisions are there. Now to denote accent, we use actually this sign. If for example, I have written here B and I have used this sign on top, so it means that B is here accented. Okay, so that means B is here accented. So this kind of sign is used for accent on a particular word. So clear what is accent and what is foot? Foot or feet same or not? Kavita, they are all same, actually singular form and plural form. Okay, so if I say 3 slashes, then you should say trisyllabic feet. Okay, and 4 syllable, then tetrasyllabic feet. And when I am saying definitions, I will say foot. That means 1 foot. Okay, 1 foot is equal to 2 syllables. So without 2 syllables, a single foot cannot be formed. It is just singular or plural. It is same, Kavita. So feet means actually a plural form of foot. Yes. So that is about accent and foot. Now we move on to next concept, which is rules of using accents. Now when we read poetry or when we do prosodic scansion, hi Sneha, good afternoon, welcome. So when we do prosodic scansions or when we use accents, there are some basic rules. Now meter of sentences are defined by analyzing the foot or not. Yes, Kavita, meter is defined by analyzing foot. Yes, yes. Pentameter means 5 foot. Yes, Ru. I will talk about meter in a few minutes. Okay. So yes, meter of sentences are defined by analyzing foot. So now, rules of using accents. What are the basic rules? First of all, important words are accented. So in a prosody, when you read the poem, if there is some important words, it must be accented. Okay. Now, next rule is that monosyllabic words are generally accented. So always remember that these rules are not so hard and fast. Okay, there may be a lot of exception. It may vary from poetry to poetry, But general rules are these. Okay. So monosyllabic words are generally accented. But maybe in some poetry you will find that there is some monosyllabic word which is not accented. That can always be found. Okay. So these rules are not fixed. This can be changed according to the nature of poetry or the lines of poetry. Okay. So monosyllabic words are generally accented. Cat, bat, rat, they are generally accented. What is the next rule? Disyllabic or trisyllabic words have one accented syllable. So if there is trisyllable, any one of the syllable will be accented and others will be unaccented. Okay, that is the rule. So, and if disyllabic word is there, okay, so in a disyllabic word, one syllable is accented, another will be unaccented. Okay, this is the general rule, but there is also some disyllabic words which have two accented syllables, right? That also happens in poetry. Now, next rule is that generally one accented syllable is followed by an unstressed one. This is the general rule, but there is also some exceptions, right? So these are all general rules of using accents. Important words must be accented. Monosyllabic words are accented. Okay. Disyllabic or trisyllabic words have only one accented syllable, and generally one accented syllable is followed by an unstressed syllable, which means unaccented syllable. Unstressed means unaccented. Okay. Now, there are also some other rules. Then accent does not fall on article, preposition, conjunction, interjection, prefix or suffix. These words cannot be accented, right? Now, next is in case of tetra or pentasyllabic words, accent falls on alternate syllables. Alternate syllable means if there is five syllable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then if first syllable is accented, then second will be unaccent, and then again third will be accented, fourth will be unaccented, fifth will be accented. So in this pattern, syllable should go on. Okay. So in case of tetra or pentasyllabic word or a polysyllabic word, you may say accent falls on alternate syllables. Here, so these are the rules of using accents while doing prosodic scansion. Right. So these are all general rules. I am again saying that these rules can be changed. These rules can be modified due to the nature of poetry. Okay. So now next thing is types of meters. Yes. Now we will talk about various types of meters. You all have heard about pentameter, hexameter, right? Iambic pentameter, trochaic tetrameter. So these are all prosodic meters. Now what are the types of meters? Now we will discuss that. Okay, so is it clear about this up to this point? Is it clear to all of you up to this point? Then we will move on to meters. So is it clear? Accent, foot, syllables. Then I will move on to meters. Okay. Okay, Ruby, thank you. So now, okay, Kavita, Ranu, Rupali, okay. Then we move on to types of meters. Now, first meter is iambic. What is iambic? An unstressed syllable, which means an unaccented syllable, is followed by a stressed one. Now, this part is very important for your exam. Actually, in your exam, you need not to scan a particular poem. Okay. Firstly, ma'am, what is meter? Okay, so meter means the particular rhyme, you may say. If you want exact definition of meter, meter actually means that as I have said that in a single foot there must be two syllable. So meter actually means that how many, as Ruby has already said, that meter is calculated using the number of foots. Okay, so meter is associated with foots. I'm just looking the exact definition of meter. Just a minute. Okay, so meter is actually calculated on the basis of foods. Okay, and it is also, yes, meter means the length of sentence, and it is also associated with the accented or unaccented syllables also, right? How many accented and unaccented syllables are there in a particular foot, that is also based on meter. Okay, so foot and meter. I'm just searching the exact definition. You can say, okay, so rhythm and meter are often very same, but yes, there is a definition of meter. Okay, so meter is actually associated with rhythm, Sneha. Okay, so the definition is that meter is associated with rhythm, because without knowing the meter, you cannot understand the rhythm of poetry, right, Nishita? Okay, so actually, without understanding, yes, Ruby, without understanding the meter of the poetry, you will not understand the rhythm. Okay, so you can say that meter is associated with the rhythm of the poem, the rhyme scheme of the poem. Yes, you may say that. And in poems, you will analyze it. Yes. So that is meter. Meter is associated with the rhythm of the poetry. And it also depends on how many feet or how many, yes, how many feet are there in a particular line based on the syllables. Okay. So what are the important meters? First meter is iambic. Now, an iambic means an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed one. Now, what I am saying actually, that in your exam, you need not, you will not be given a particular piece of poetry and you need to scan it, but you will be given this kind of definition. Okay. If you may be asked that when in a particular poem and when in a particular poetic line an unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable, then it is called which, you will be given 4 options. So this kind of questions may be asked, so you need to know that which kind of meter has given which name. Okay, so iambic means an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed one. Now how will we identify it? Unstressed is signified in this way, sorry, in this way. This is unstressed and stressed is this. Okay, so this is the sign of accent and this is the sign of unaccent. Clear? So when this kind of meter we will find an unstressed followed by a stressed syllable in a single foot, that is called iambic. Okay. So as I have said that 2 syllable can only form a foot, right? So this is 1 foot, this is 1 foot, this kind of thing. And how many foots are there? Then according to that you can name the line disyllabic feet, trisyllabic feet, right? Tetrasyllabic feet, this kind of name we can give. Yes, Dev, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. Okay, so iambic means this kind of this kind of meter when an unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed one. Now I will give you an example. Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. This is a line from Rabbi Ben Ezra by Robert Browning. Rabbi Ben Ezra. Okay. This is a line from Rabbi Ben Ezra. Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. Now, what is the iambic meter here? Grow is unstressed. Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. So this is the prosodic scansion. Okay, I will just make it clear for you. Some part you can clearly understand. Okay, so now how we do the scansion? So grow old along with me. Grow is your unstressed. Grow old along, disyllable. Okay, so a is unstressed, long is stressed. Along with me. The is unstressed because I have told you that articles are not stressed, right? So the best is also unstressed article, yet to preposition is also unstressed, be is stressed. So how will we read the line? Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. So this is the kind of rhyme scheme. So you can understand, Nishita, that meter is associated with rhyme. Okay, unless you don't divide it in this way, you will not get the rhyme. You will not get the rhythm of the poem, right? So if I read it in this way, grow old along with me, the best is yet to be, then it appears to be a prose piece, right? But if I read it in this way, according to the stress and the accents, grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. So that is the exact way of reading poetry. So understand, so here grow old, this is an iambic put, along, this is also iambic, with me. So the whole stanza is actually written in iambic. And how many, yes, and how many feet are there? This is trisyllabic, right? 3 feet. So you can say that it is iambic trisyllabic feet. Iambic trisyllabic feet. Okay. So this slashing is actually means some the division of one foot with another. Okay, so when we use this slash, that means this foot has ended here, this is another foot. Okay, so that is the rule. Now next important line, very famous line, you all know, it is the beginning of Gray's famous elegy written in a country churchyard, right? So very famous line, the curfew tolls the knell of parting day. Now how will you do the scansion here? The curfew tolls the nails of parting day. This is also on iambic. So how we'll do the scansion? I will just show you. Okay. So how will you do the scansion here? The is unstressed. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. So this is the scansion. Okay. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. This is the point of the scansion. Okay. Ma'am, what is the meaning of curfew? Okay, so here curfew doesn't associated with in the normal sense, which which we use the word curfew. Here curfew actually means the crowd or the hustle and bustle of daily life. That is here referring to the curfew. So the curfew tolls the knell of parting day. So now this is the scansion. We are reading it in that way. The is unstressed, curfew, ka is stressed, few is unstressed. Okay. So that is a kind of iambic meter. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. Clear? So this is iambic, when an unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed one. Now, next is trochaic, just the opposite of iambic. So what is trochaic? Trochaic means a stressed syllable is followed by an unstressed one. Okay, so just the opposite of iambic is trochaic or trochee. Actually the meter is called trochee. Okay, so what is trochee? Trochee means when a stressed syllable is followed by an unstressed one. So when this kind of thing happens, it is called trochaic or trochee. Okay, just the opposite of iambic. Thank you so much. Okay, so how we define trochee? This is a line, water, water everywhere. This line is from Rhyme of Ancient Mariner of Coleridge. Water, water everywhere, and all the boats did sink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. That is the full stanza. So water, water everywhere. Now how will you pronounce that? water. Okay, water everywhere. Okay, so water, water everywhere. We are pronouncing it in this way. And the next line is, and all the boats did sink. And all the boats did sink. And all the boats did sink. So this is the scansion. So how will you read the poem? Water, water everywhere, and all the boats did sink. So you can see the first line is in trochaic meter and the second line is in iambic meter. So when first syllable is stressed and the next syllable is unstressed, this is called trochaic, and the opposite is iambic. So here in the word water, the wa is here stressed, the first syllable, and tar is unstressed, right? So water, water everywhere, and all the boats did sink. That is the rhyme scheme. Okay, so this is the example of trochaic. And this line, crumble, crumble, voiceless things. So things is a monosyllabic word, it is stressed. So crumble, crumble, voiceless things. Now the word crumb is here stressed. The beginning of the word is stressed. So we are reading it in this way. Crumble, crumble, voiceless things. That is the way of reading, right? So this is the example of trochaic. Now, next is spondy. Now, as I have told you that there are a number of exceptions regarding the rules of accents, right? So what is the general rule? That one accented syllable will be followed by an unaccented syllable. But what happens in spondy? That there are two stressed syllables in a single foot. So if this is the foot, the two syllables are stressed. So that is called spondy. Okay. When two syllables are stressed, that is called spondy. There is no unstressed syllable, right? Two stressed syllables form a single foot. Now, what is the example? Okay. So how will you do the scan? Cry, cry. Troy burns. Or else let Helen go. Okay. So this is a line from Troilus and Cressida, Shakespeare's famous tragedy. Yes. So cry, cry. The first two words are stressed, monosyllabic word, and both are stressed. Cry, cry. Troy burns. Why Troy is stressed? Because Troy is here an important word. I have told you that important words should always be accented. So Troy is the name of the place which is here important. So the speaker is saying, cry, cry, Troy burns, or else let Helen go. So Helen is disyllabic, he is stressed, Len is unstressed, and go is also stressed. So that is the rhyme scheme. Cry, cry, Troy burns, or else let Helen go. Okay. So this is from Troilus and Cressida. So what happens here? That the first foot so the first foot is only spondy here. This is trochaic and these are all iambic. Right. So yes, this can also happen that in a particular line, you will find various rhyme scheme in a number of foots. That can that can also be found. So for example, here the first foot is spondy, the second is trochaic, the third, fourth and fifth foot are iambic, right? So okay, so this is the example. Now next is break, break, break. Break, 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 all are accented syllable. On thy cold, okay, so on thy cold grey stones. This is a line from Tennyson's poem Break, Break, Break. The poem is also titled as Break, 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 right? So this line is, in the first line you will see that all the three monosyllabic words are stressed. Break, break, break on thy cold grey stones. So that is the rhyme scheme. So break, break, here this first feet is the example of spondy, right? So we have talked about three types of meters: iambic, trochaic and spondy. So iambic, what is iambic? When an unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed one, right? And when in trochee, a stressed syllable is followed by an unstressed one, and in spondy, two stressed syllables are in a foot. Clear? Now we move on to next type. So what is the next type? Pyrrhic. That's the opposite of spondy. What happens? A foot comprised of two unstressed syllables. Okay, so two syllables are unstressed. Listen this. This is the example of Pyrrhic. Okay. So how will you do the scansion? My way is to begin with the beginning. This is the scansion. Okay. So my way is to begin with the beginning. That is the rhyme scheme. Now here is to, you can see that is article, to is preposition, both should be unstressed. So this foot is an example of Pyrrhic. Okay, so where in this foot two syllables are unstressed. Now this line, look at this line. The first line is pass into nothingness. This is a line from Endymion from Kids. Passed into nothingness but still will keep. So how will you scan passed into nothingness? Pass into nothingness, right? So here into, this is an example of Pyrrhic. In and to both are unstressed. So pass into nothingness but still will keep. But will be unstressed but still will keep. So the next line is in iambic form, right? But in the first line you will find a Pyrrhic foot where two syllables are unstressed. So the opposite of iambic is trochee and the opposite of spondy is Pyrrhic. So if you remember one, you can easily guess the another, right? Okay. So clear everybody? We move on to next. Okay. So this is Pyrrhic, and what is the next? Next is anapestic. Now, actually spondy, Pyrrhic, iambic, trochaic, all are the types of disyllabic foot. Okay, they are all part of disyllabic foot. You can see that only two syllables are there in every case, whether it is stressed or unstressed. Two is the maximum number. Okay. मैम बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है. हाँ रानू, ये पढ़ने में थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग है, लेकिन अगर आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो हो जाएगा. तो you just need to remember this kind of definition, which is called spondy, which is called Pyrrhic. This is often asked in your exam. You will be given this kind of definition and you will ask that what is it called, what is it known as. Okay, so that is so these are all types of disyllabic feet: iambic, trochaic, spondy, Pyrrhic. They are all disyllabic foot part. Now another this is up to this, it is okay. Now the more confusing thing is about the trisyllabic feet. Trisyllabic means when there are three syllables in a feet. These are all two syllables. You can see my way, 1 foot, is to 1 foot. So these are all disyllabic feet actually. Sorry, I am saying foot. Disyllabic feet. So now if I talk trisyllabic feet, then meter will be changed. How meter will be changed? So from this onwards, actually trisyllabic feet starts. Okay. Yes, 3 syllable Kavita. So what are the meter definition in trisyllabic feet? Now first is anapestic. Anapest actually. So what is anapest? 2 unstressed syllables followed by 1 stressed syllables. That is anapest. So anapest means this. This is a trisyllabic foot. two unstressed syllable is followed by one stressed syllable. Okay, so that is Anapest. Now this is very melodious to read. Okay, so now I can give you an example. Like the leaves of the forest when summer is green. So this is the example of trisyllabic fit. Okay, you can see that three syllable 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, right? So in trisyllabic fit you don't find such kind of conventional meters like iambic or trochaic. This is only for disyllabic fit when there will be two syllable. But if you will be given three syllable, then the pattern of meter will change. So anapestic is a type of trisyllabic fit meter. So how we use anapest? Now I am reading, like the leaves of the forest when summer is green. So that is the way of reading. And the next line is that that host with, okay, so that host with their banners at sunset were green. Okay, so this can be the scansion. Banners that host with that host, okay, that host will be one with their banners at sunset were seen. Okay, so this is the scheme. Like the leaves of the forest when summer is green, that host with their banners at sunset were seen. So you can understand the scheme, right? This is anapestic. So here you can see all the feet are trisyllabic, right? So this is actually a line from The Destruction of Sennacherib by Lord Byron. This is a poem by Byron, very lesser known poem. The Destruction of Sennacherib by Lord Byron. So here that host is one with their banners at sunset were seen. Yes. So this is the prosodic scansion, right? Yes, Ruby. So if you read it in that way, you will understand that where the stress is falling and where not. Leaves is here stressed, right? Forest, for is stressed, F sound is stressed. Now summer disyllable, some is stressed, mar is not, right? So you have to read it in that way. So you can see that anapestic meter is only applicable for trisyllabic fit. Okay. Now there are also some other types. So anapestic means when two unstressed syllables are followed by a stressed one. That is anapestic. Okay. Now what is next? Next is dactylic. Dactylic means just the opposite of anapest. One stressed syllable is followed by two unstressed syllables. So this is also a type of trisyllabic meter, right? So one stressed syllable is followed by two unstressed syllables. That is the example of dactyl. This is a very beautiful lines from The Bridge of Sighs by Thomas Hood. Now, how is it dactylic? Touch her not scornfully, think of her mournfully. Okay. So, so you can see this is trisyllabic but dactylic. How? The first syllable is stressed. Touch her not scornfully, think of her mournfully. So very, very clear cut division, right? So these are all dactylic dactylic fit, dactylic meter, right? So anapest का opposite होता है dactylic, which means that first syllable is stressed and the next two syllables are unstressed. And what happens in anapestic? That first two syllables are unstressed and the third syllable is stressed. Okay, clear? Up to dactylic. Touch her not scornfully, think of her mournfully. This is dactylic. Okay, so clear up to this point? Ranu, is it clear? Okay, so should I move ahead? Up to this point, is it clear? Yes, this often confuses in your exam. If this kind of definition is given, you may confuse it with anapestic. Okay, so don't get confused. You should remember that which kind of meter is called which. Okay, okay, Kavita. So now, next is amphibrak. This is very interesting. What happens here that two unstressed syllable is on two side. Okay, and in the middle there is one stressed syllable. So this kind of scansion, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. This is known as amphibrak. Okay, yes, Rupali, okay. So amphibrak means two unstressed syllables are on two different sides and the middle syllable is stressed. So this is a type of scansion. This is called amphibrak. Now, how will you make this scansion? Oh, talk not to me of a name great in story. Okay? The days of our youth are the days of our glory. This is also a line from Byron. So how will you read that? Oh, talk not to me of a name great in story. The days of our youth are the days of our glory. So yes, two unstressed syllable is on two side, Ruby, and the middle syllable is stressed. So this is very beautiful to listen, right? So here you can see that O and not are unstressed. In the middle, talk is stressed. Me is stressed. Name is stressed. Story, sto is stressed, right? So, O talk not to me of a name great in story. The days of our youth are the days of our glory. Okay, so this is also a line from Lord Byron. So this is an example. You can see all feats are trisyllabic, right? And in the middle there is only a single stressed syllable. Yes. So actually these two unstressed syllables are almost protecting this stressed one in the middle, right? So you can remember it in that way. That when two unstressed syllable protect a stressed syllable, that is known as amphibrak. So here the stress falls in the middle point of a foot. Okay. So dactylic, anapestic and amphibrak, these are all part of trisyllabic feet. And iambic, trochaic, spondipyrrhic, they are all associated with disyllabic feet. Right? Now, what next? Next is catalectic. Now, what is catalectic? Catalectic means that when there is a single stressed syllable at the end of a trochee line, it is assumed that an unaccented syllable is dropped. So what does that mean? That the whole line is written in trochee meter, which means first syllable is stressed and next is unstressed. So if the whole line is written in trochee meter and if there is only a stressed syllable left at the end, then it is assumed that there is one unstressed syllable but that is dropped, that is missing. So that kind of single syllable, single stressed syllable at the end of a trochee line is called catalectic. So this stressed syllable is living alone. There is no unstressed, right? So this is known as catalectic. Now you can see here, if I make the scansion, give me women, wine and snuff. So here snuff, this is stressed, but this is alone. Okay, there is no unstressed syllable. And the whole line is in trochee, right? Give me, this is trochee, women, trochee, wine and trochee, and snuff. So here should be an unaccented syllable, right? But this is not, which means that this syllable is standing alone at the end of a trochee line. So here snuff is an example of catalectic. Catalectic. Okay. So snuff is an example of catalectic. Give me women, wine and snuff. Okay, so snuff के बाद कोई unstressed syllable नहीं है. इसलिए snuff is an example of catalectic. As I have said, that a single stressed syllable at the end of trochee line, that is catalectic. Now, there is another type, that is acephalous. Now, what is acephalous? When there is one stressed syllable, one stressed syllable in the beginning of an iambic line, it is assumed that one unstressed syllable is dropped. What does that mean? That the whole line is written in iambic, which means this pattern, unstressed, stressed. But in an iambic line, if you find that one syllable is stressed at the beginning, so that is known as acephalous, just the opposite of trochee. So just the opposite of catalectic. So in catalectic, what happens? That at the end of a trochee line, there is a single stressed syllable. And in acephalous, in the beginning of an iambic line, there is a single stressed syllable. Okay, that is acephalous. How? This line again, water, water everywhere. Wa, tar, everywhere. This is the scansion, right? So here, this is all iambic, you can see. These are all iambics. Now, this wa is standing alone at the beginning. But the whole line is in iambic, right? So, this wa is actually here acephalous. Because in iambic line, this one is standing apart as a stressed syllable, okay, at the beginning. So, water, water everywhere. We are reading it in this way. So, wa here means that one stressed syllable is standing apart from an iambic line. So, that is known as acephalous. Okay. Now, next important type is hypermetrical. What is hypermetrical? Hypermetrical means there is only an unaccented syllable at the end of an iambic line. It is considered an extra one. So, in an iambic line, in this going on. So, if there is only unstressed syllable, it is considered as an extra. Okay, it is considered an extra foot. That is why it is called hypermetrical. Hyper means extra, extra added thing. So, that is called hypermetrical. Okay. So, so these are all actually types of prosodic meters. Okay. And a number of meters are there. You can revise it and you can remember in that sense. So now we'll move on to types of stanzas. Okay. So what are the types of various stanzas? The first is couplet. You all know couplet is a stanza of 2 lines, right? You all know that in sonnet, we say, in Shakespearean sonnet, we say 3 quatrains and 1 concluding couplet. So couplet means 2 rhyming lines. Okay. Now, what is tarset? Tarset means 3 lines, a stanza of 3 lines, which is mainly found in Divine Comedy. And this Divine Comedy is written in tarset stanza form. Okay. So tarset means stanza of 3 lines. Now quatrain, we often use this quatrain. Quatrain means stanza of 4 lines. Clear? Then cinquain. Cinquain means stanza of 5 lines. Okay. Then next is sestet, a stanza of 6 lines. You all know sestet and octave, a stanza of 8 lines. Okay. So there are mainly these kind of stanza form: couplet, tarset, quatrain, cinquain, sestet and octave. So octave, sestet we often use in Petrarchan sonnet, right? And quatrain we use in Shakespearean sonnet. So these are all stanza form. Here this is very easy. You can very well guess by reading the name. Couplet is 2, tarset means 3, quatrain means 4, cinquain means 5, sestet means 6 and octave means 8. Clear? This is the stanza form. Okay. So now we will move on types of rhymes and verses. So there are a lot of rhymes and verses in prosody. I will try to discuss all the important things in detail. Okay. So types of rhymes and verses. So what are the major types? First is accentual verse. Accentual verse. What is accentual verse? Okay. So accentual verse means only the beat of strong stresses are counted in the scanning. Okay. So what happened that in accentual verse, as the name itself suggests, it is based on accent. Okay. So only accented syllables are counted in the scanning. So we actually don't pay any attention to unaccented ones, right? So only the stressed syllables are calculated. Only the stressed syllables are calculated in accentual verse. Now, usually 4 strong stressed syllables are in the line. Okay, 4 strong stressed syllables are in the line. So that is the criteria of accentual verse, that you will find 4 accented syllables in a single line. Okay, so that is the pattern of syllables. Okay, so that is actually the pattern of accentual verse. So it is based on accent. So only the accented syllable or the stressed syllable are only counted in the scanning. Okay, and in a single line, usually 4 strong stressed syllables are there. Now, it was very popular form in Old and Middle English poetry. This is not relevant today, but you will find a good example in Christabel, Coleridge's Christabel. Very famous poem of Coleridge, Christabel, a fragmented poem. So if you read the lines of Christabel, you will find this kind of accentual verse where only accents are counted, right? So this is accentual verse. From the name itself, you can guess that it is based on accents, based on the stresses on a line. Now, okay. So now move on to next type, that is rendu. Rendu actually, this is French pronounced rendu. So what is rendu? Rendu means a 13 lines stanza of 8 syllable. So this is the rhyme scheme AA, BBA, AABR or AABBAR. So R here means actually refrain. So after some lines, a refrain come. Refrain, you all know what is refrain. Refrain is the repetition of a particular line in a successive point inside a poem. Okay, that is called refrain. As I have told you that in Diot's Lament there is the famous refrain, that passed away, so may this, right? So this line actually occur a number of times in a single poem. That is refrain. So here you can see that rendu is actually a stanza of 13 lines and of 8 syllable. Okay, and this is the rhyme scheme AA, which means the first line and second line will be rhymed. Then BBA, AABR and AABBAR. Okay, so that is the refrain. Wallpaper bhi horror laga rakha hai. Is it horrible? Okay, maybe. I think it is a beautiful fairy kind of thing. Okay, so very good. This is it looking horrible, Kavita? I don't think so. I think it is a kind of fantasy land, okay, fairy land kind of thing. Is it really looking horrible? Okay, so now 13 lines of 8 syllables. Okay, so 13 lines of 8 syllables are there in rendu. Okay, and what are the rhyme scheme? That the first few lines of the first stanza are repeated at the end. So that is the refrain. Okay, so the first few lines of the first stanza are repeated at the end of second and third stanzas. So that is the point of that is the feature of rendu. Okay, so that is the refrain. The first few lines are again repeated as the refrain at the end of second and third stanza. You can see here, right? So it has 3 parts and 2 parts contain 5 lines each and 3 parts contain 3 lines each. Okay, so okay, so this is the scheme of okay Rupali, not horrible for me. Okay Ruby, great. मैम ये हार्ड लग रहा, हाँ कविता, दिस इज little bit confusing, but yes, you can remember only this thing. Okay, Rondhu means a stanza of 13 lines of 8 syllable. Okay, if you don't remember the rhyme scheme, then it will also be okay. And also remember that it has a refrain, right? पहले एबीबीए वो सब नहीं सुना था और अब एबीबीए ए बीबीए yes, so it's a long, right, it's a 13 line syllable, so it may be difficult. Okay, so that is, so yes, I am saying that if you don't remember the rhyme scheme, it will be okay. I am just saying for your sake of information. Okay, so please remember up to this point that Rondhu is actually a 13 line stanza of verse which has 8 syllables, and it is divided into 3 parts. If you remember up to this, then it will be okay. Okay, so don't get so scared about all these things. Now, next is Ottavarima. This is very common rhyme scheme, right? So what is Ottavarima? You have heard it many times in literature. So Ottavarima actually first brought from Italy by Sir Thomas Watt in the 16th century. Sir Thomas Watt, Earl of Surrey, you know, they all have first brought sonnet into England, right? So Thomas Watt brought this verse form Ottavarima from Italy, and in the 16th century. Okay, so what is Ottavarima? Ottavarima means 8 lines in iambic pentameter. So Rondhu is a stanza of 13 lines, and here Ottavarima, Ottava, you can see octave, say Ottava, you can guess it in that way. So Ottava means 8 lines, and the meter is iambic pentameter. This is the rhyme scheme ABA, BAB, CC. Okay, this is the kind of rhyme scheme. If you don't remember the rhyme scheme, it will also be okay. Please remember that Ottavarima means 8 line stanza form in iambic pentameter. This you should remember. Iambic pentameter is the meter, and the total number of lines is 8. Okay, so what are the examples? Don Juan, Byron's Don Juan, The Vision of Judgment, Shelling to Byzantium by W.B. Yeats, Among School Children by W.B. Yeats. So these are all written in the first form of Ottavarima. Okay, so you can check the text of the poems in internet. You will find that how the lines are written in iambic pentameter, and 8 lines form a single stanza. That is Ottavarima. Okay, so Don Juan, The Vision of Judgment, Sailing to Byzantium, these are all examples of works. These are all examples of Ottavarima verse form. Okay, so Sailing to Byzantium, great poem. Yes, Ruby, it's great poem. Sailing to Byzantium. Yes, Among School Children is also a beautiful poem. We have read it in our master syllabus. On in our second semester of my masters, I have read this poem, Among School Children. This is also very beautiful. Okay, so yes. Now next is Rhyme Royal. You all are familiar with Rhyme Royal, right? Greatly associated with Chaucer. So this question can often ask that this question may be asked to you that which works of Chaucer are written in Rhyme Royal. Okay, these kind of questions may also come. So what is Rhyme Royal? Why is it royal? Because it was first used by King James the First in his poem The King is Square, which means King's Book. I have told you it. I have told you while teaching you Scottish Chaucerians, right? We have now Sailing to Byzantium in masters. Okay. Yes, you can read it. Very good. So first used by King James the First in his poem The King is Square, which means King's Book. Okay. So as the king actually first used this rhyme scheme, that is why it is known as Rhyme Royal. Okay, Rhyme Royal. So what is the rhyme? It is also known as Chaucerian stanza because Chaucer has popularized it most. Now, Rhyme Royal stanza is actually 7-line stanza written in iambic pentameter. Okay, so Ottavarima, I have talked about this. Ottavarima has 8 lines and Rhyme Royal has 7 lines. Okay, so don't get confused between the two. Rhyme Royal is 7-line stanza form in iambic pentameter. Now this is the rhyme scheme ABA, BB, CC. This is the 7-line rhyme scheme. Now, what are the examples? Chaucer's famous poem Troilus and Cresside, the Parliament of Fowls. These are all written in rhyme royal verse form. 7-line stanza in iambic pentameter. That is rhyme royal. Okay. Now, next is, okay. So, now, what is the next type? Next type is villanelle. Villanelle, actually. Villanelle is the name. Now, what is villanelle? Villanelle means 19 lines stanza which can be divided into 5 tercet and 1 quatrain. So, this is the division of villanelle. So, 19 lines, how will you divide it? 5 tercet, which means 3 line stanza. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 5 tercet and 1 quatrain plus 4. Okay, so this can be divided into 19 line stanza. This is the scansion, 5 tercet and 1 quatrain. Okay, so this form together 15 lines and plus 4 means total 19. Right? So this is villanelle. Villanelle means 19 line stanza form, and it also has a lot of refrains. Okay? So what is the example? The Sea and the Mirror by W.H. Auden. This is an example. Another example is Do Not Go Gently Into That Good Night, a poem by Dylan Thomas. So these are all examples of villanelle. Now you just need to remember that which form, what is the definition of a particular meter. For example, if you given this definition, 19 lines stanza form is known as, you will be given 4 options: rhyme royal, autophorema, villanelle, or none of the above. This kind of questions may come, so you have to click on villanelle. So this kind of questions can be asked. So villanelle means 19 line stanza form which can be divided into 5 tercet and 1 quatrain, and it also has a lot of refrains. Right? Now, what is next? Next is terza rima and triplet. Terza rima is also very famous, right? We often read poems written in terza rima form. So, what is terza rima? Terza rima has 3 lines. Terza, tercet, terza, you can remember in that way. It has 3 lines in a single stanza. So, a stanza of 3 lines is called terza rima. Okay, and it is interlocking. Why it is interlocking? Because you can see the rhyme scheme A, B, A, B, C, B. So this rhyme, for the second rhyme is actually returning to the 4th, and the 4th is returning to 6th, right? C, D, C, D, E, D. So that is the interlocking kind of form, that one particular rhyming word is actually related to some other line, right? So A, B, A, B, C, B, C, D, C, D, E, D. This is the rhyme scheme of terza rima. And the famous example is Ode to the West Wind. You can read Ode to the West Wind. This is a very good example of terza rima. Another is Triumph of Life. This is also a poem by Shelley. Both are written by Shelley. Ode to the West Wind and the Triumph of Life. These are examples of terza rima verse form. Okay. So terza rima means it has 3 lines and they are the stanzas are almost interlocking. Interlocking means that the rhyming words are repeated after a particular number of lines. So that you can see that second rhyme is repeated is here in the third. Second is repeated in the 4th, and 4th is again 6th. Okay, and here you can see that C, which means 5th line, 5th rhyme is repeated again in 7th. Okay, so this kind of interlocking rhyme scheme is there. Now, what is triplet? Triplet or tercet, this is also a 3 line stanza but with equal rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme is equal. This kind of thing cannot be found here. So triplet or tercet is also a 3 line stanza, but the rhyme scheme is equal. Okay, equal rhyme scheme throughout the poem. Okay, So this is the kind of two types of 3-line stanza form. One is terza rima, another is triplet. Okay. Okay, so now move on to next, Spenserian stanza. This is very important. Spenserian stanza, from the very name you can understand that it was first brought by Spenser, Edmund Spenser, okay, and it is a stanza of 9 lines. Okay, 9-line stanza form is called known as Spenserian stanza. Now you should remember the rhyme scheme: A B A B, B C B C, C D C D, double E. This is also the rhyme scheme of a Spenserian sonnet. Okay, so this is basically used in Spenserian sonnet. Okay, so it is actually a stanza of 9 lines, but here you can see it is 14 line. Okay, so actually the sonnet is in 14 lines, but the rhyme scheme is almost same for 9 lines also and 14 lines. So 14 line stanza form, this is basically used in Spenserian sonnet. Now, in Spenserian stanza form, the Lotus Eaters is written. The Lotus Eaters is by Tennyson. So, Tennyson's poem, The Lotus Eaters, is also written in Spenserian stanza. Right? So, this is known as Spenserian stanza. If you read Spenser's sonnet like Amoretti, okay, so you will find this kind of division: A B A B, B C B C, C D C D, double E. So, this is Spenserian stanza, or also you can say this is Spenserian sonnet. Right? Now, next is heroic couplet. Very famous verse form, heroic couplet. So, couplet, we can understand that couplet means 2 rhyming lines. So, but why is it called heroic? It is called heroic because it is used frequently in heroic poems and plays. Okay, so heroic poems and plays actually written in this couplet. That is why it is known as heroic couplet. It was first introduced by Chaucer in the Legend of Good Women and the Canterbury Tales. Okay, so not the whole Canterbury Tales, but in some portion you will find heroic couplet. Okay, Canterbury Tales is basically written in 10 syllabic verse form. Right? So, but some portions of Canterbury Tales are they are in heroic couplet. So, why heroic couplet? Because it was used frequently in heroic poems and heroic plays. Now, what is the rhyme scheme? It can be AA or it can be BB. So, both the patterns are available, AA or BB. 2 lines, okay? And the lines are in iambic pentameter. So, what is heroic couplet? Heroic couplet is actually a couplet, which means a stanza of 2 lines written in iambic pentameter. And as it was used mostly in writing heroic poems or plays, that is why it is called heroic couplet. Okay? Clear? Very easy. These works you should remember. This can often ask in your question that which works of Chaucer are written in heroic couplet stanza form. Right? So then you should say that the Legend of Good Women and some part of the Canterbury Tales. Okay? Part of the Canterbury Tales. Mainly the Legend of Good Women. Now, next is roundel and ballad stanza. Roundel and ballad stanza. So, what is roundel? Roundel is 13-line poem. A poem which is a 13 line, not a stanza, a whole poem. A whole poem of 13 line. That is called roundel. Okay. And this is the rhyme scheme. This is not very important. 13-line poem. The first 2 lines are same. So, in roundel, yes. In roundel, first 2 lines are same. So, that is all about roundel. A 13 lines poem. So, remember it is a complete poem of 13. As we have said that sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. So, it is not a particular stanza. It is the whole poem of 13 lines. Okay. One trick. ROS, rhyme royal, ottava rima, Spenserian stanza. Yes, Kavita. You can make a number of tricks to remember. That is up to you. But the main thing is you should remember it. That is the main thing. Yes. ROS, rhyme royal, ottava rima, Spenserian stanza. Okay. So, now next is ballad stanza. What is ballad stanza? Ballad stanza has 4 lines. This is the rhyme scheme: A, B, C, B. Okay. So, the second line is rhyming with 4th line, and the first line and third line has no rhyme actually. That is the rhyme scheme of ballad stanza. So, roundel, roundel is 13 lines poem. Okay. And ballad stanza has 4 lines. That is mainly used in ballad, so it is called ballad stanza. You can understand. Now, what is next? Next is Poulter's measure. This is also another rhyme scheme. Poulter's measure. What is Poulter's measure? Poulter's measure means it is also a type of couplet, but the first line is written in iambic hexameter and the second line is written in iambic heptameter. Heptameter means 7. 7. Okay, so this is a type of couplet where the first line is in iambic hexameter, which means 6 meter. Hexa means 6, right? So not pentameter, it is hexameter, and second line is iambic heptameter. So it is used very rare, right? But you need to know that this is called Poulter's measure. The name is a bit odd, right? Poulter's measure. Okay, so that is a kind of couplet, right? Next is blank verse, very famous and most frequently used verse form in literature. So what is blank verse? Blank verse was first introduced by Earl of Surrey in his translation of Virgil's Aeneid. This is also important. Okay. Next is, it is the standard meter for Elizabethan writers. Yes, during the Elizabethan age, you will find that almost all works, all plays basically are written in blank verse. Almost all Shakespearean plays are written in blank verse, right? So Milton, Tennyson, Wordsworth, Browning, they also used it later after the Elizabethan age. They also used it. Milton, Tennyson, Wordsworth, Browning. So what are some examples of blank verse poem? The Prelude, Wordsworth's Prelude, Tennyson's Idylls of the King, Browning's Ring and the Book, T.S. Eliot's The Waste Land, and Frost at Midnight by Coleridge. So all of these are, yes, Ruby. Christopher Marlowe also used it. You will find it in the famous soliloquies of Dr. Faustus. Yes. So many Elizabethan writers has used blank verse. In Shakespearean plays, you will also find the same rhyme scheme. So that is the about blank verse. Okay. So first introduced by Earl of Surrey. So blank verse means that there is no clear-cut rhyme scheme you will find, but there is some poetic sense, right? So you can guess the blank verse in reading each and every text, as I have mentioned. You can guess it reading any kind of text. If you read Paradise Lost, you will also find the use of blank verse, right? So the next is free verse. Free verse is also a very common stanza form. So what is free verse? More controlled rhythm than an ordinary prose. So free verse doesn't mean that it is free from any discipline, right? There is no rule. That is not the thing. Free verse means that no regular metrical pattern is there, which means the patterns which we are talking since the beginning of the class, this kind of clear-cut division, clear-cut metrical pattern is not available. That is free verse, and it often seems to be reading a prose. So if you read a free verse poem, you will often find that it appears to be that you are reading an ordinary prose. Okay, but this is not exactly the same as prose. There are some kind of rhythm. So you can only understand the rhythm when we understand the meaning of the poem. So that is the example of free verse. Now there are not rhyming words like bat, cat, rat. Okay, this kind of rhyming words cannot be found, which we found it in nursery rhyme. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So you can find the clear-cut division of rhyme, right? So R and star is rhyming here. But in free verse, you don't find this kind of rhyming line. But it actually more or less appears to be a prose. But there is some inherent rhythm which you can understand when you will understand the meaning of the poem. That is the meaning of free verse. Short lines but lacked in regular stress pattern. So it is very difficult to give prosodic scansion to a free verse poem. Okay, because the metrical patterns are not regular, not according to the rules which we have discussed. So that is free verse. Ezra Pound, Walt Whitman, Matthew Arnold, they all used free verse in their writings. Okay. So blank verse and free verse clear. Now we move on to limerick. What is limerick? Limerick means, limerick is also known as doggerel. So limerick has 5 lines written in dactylic meter. So what is dactylic meter? I have told you that first syllable is stressed, next 2 syllables is unstressed. So that is dactylic. So 5 line stanza form, also called doggerel verse, and it is used. It is written in dactylic meter, dactylic rhyme scheme. Okay, and it is mainly used for humorous purpose. Humorous poems are written in limerick form. Okay, and the rhyme scheme is AABBA. Okay, first 2 and last line are in trimeter. Third and fourth lines are in diameter. Okay, so first 2 lines and the last line, they are in trimeter, which means 3 syllabic meter. Trimeter means trisyllabic meter actually. And third and fourth line, they are disyllabic meter. Okay, so this is the division. So you should remember that limerick is a 5 line stanza form written in dactylic meter, and it is mainly used for writing humorous poems. Okay, very short poem, 5 line, very short, right? So that is limerick. Now next is caesura. I hope you all have familiar with the word caesura. Caesura means a pause, right? A strong pause within a line of poetry. That is caesura. So why caesura is used? Caesura is used to check the pace and allows the reader to recollect and ponder. So when you read poetry, there is a particular point you will get a caesura. Okay, so why this caesura is given? So that the reader can stop there and can think of the whole poem, think of the meaning of the poem, and realize the symbols and all the other allusions, all kinds of things. So it is actually allowing readers some time to understand the poem, to recollect and ponder. That is caesura. And it can also shortly after every foot. So it also influences the closing of line. So it doesn't mean that caesura only occur within a line of poetry. It can also occur at the end of one stanza. At the end of one stanza. Okay. So as you can see that when we read poetry, after the end of one stanza, we take some break and then used it in the next stanza. Okay. Yes, Marlowe introduced it, ma'am. I don't think so, Ruby. Who introduced caesura? I have not get this information anywhere. Who has introduced caesura? Then I should check again. But I don't think there is any particular name who has introduced caesura. Marlowe maybe used it, but is Marlowe the first person to use it? I don't know, Ruby. Okay, so I will check it and tell you in the next class. Okay? I have not got any kind of particular name who has introduced caesura, but if there is any name, I will check it and tell you. Okay, so I will tell you in my next class. Okay, so fine. End of stanza, at the end of first stanza, you will also find caesura. Okay, so caesura can also happen within a line of poetry and also happen at the end of first stanza. Yes, ma'am, Marlowe used it for the first time once I read. Okay, maybe if you have read, then it may be true, but I don't know. Okay, so thank you for the information, Ruby. Maybe Marlowe has used it for the first time. Maybe. So thank you. If you are sure, then it's fine. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, that's it. Next is triolet. What is triolet? Triolet means it is actually a variant of rodeo. So I have talked about rodeo. So it is a stanza of 8 lines. Okay. So triolet is actually a stanza of 8 lines. The first and second lines are repeated in 7th line, and first and 8th lines are repeated in 4th line. Okay. That is triolet. So you may be confused that triolet means three, trio means three, but that is not the thing. Triolet is actually a stanza of 8 lines where first and second lines are repeated in the 7th line and first and 8 lines are repeated in the 4th line. So that is the okay. So that is the stanza of triolet. Okay. Now next is enjambment. You all know enjambment is a very common term. What is enjambment? Enjambment is also known as run-on lines. We often find it in various poems, right? Absence of punctuation at the end of a line. And what happens that the sense or meaning is carried on the next line without any break or pause. So we often find it in various poems, right? Run-on lines. Run-on lines means that the sense which you are talking about in a single line of poetry, the sense is not completed at that line, which means there is no full stop at the end of this line. It will continue, the sense will continue in the next line. Okay, so that is known as run-on lines, absence of punctuation at the end of a line, and it is also called enjambment. Okay, so enjambment means that when there is absence of punctuation at the end of one line and the sense is carried on to the next line. Clear? So that is okay. So that is run-on line or enjambment. Now next thing, end rhyme. What is end rhyme? End rhyme means rhyming of the final syllables of a line. Okay, so end rhyme is very common, as I have given the example from Ode to the West Wind. The trumpet of prophecy, O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? So you can see that the end syllables are rhyming, wind behind, right? So when the final syllables of a line is rhyming, that is called end rhyme, at the end of the line. This is very common. Now next is monorhyme. What is monorhyme? Monorhyme means one type of sound is repeated. A stanza or poem in which all lines have the same end rhymes. Okay, so each and every lines are rhyming. One type of sound is repeated. For example, cat, mat, bat, rat, this kind of only same sound is repeated. Okay, ball, small, tall, this kind of words are repeated. So same sound is repeated throughout the poem. That is known as monorhyme. Clear? Now next is identical rhyme. What is identical rhyme? Identical rhyme means that using the same words twice in the poem, but the words often carry different meanings. So we are using same word in the poem, but the words are carrying different meanings. This line, day by day until the break of day. So here day by day, here day actually refers to time span, right? Day by day. But until the break of the day, this refers to actually morning time, the daytime, right? So you can see the word day is same, but the meanings are different. So this kind of thing is called identical rhyme. When the same words are used twice, okay, but the meanings are changed. Two different meanings are, yes, Kavita, right, yes. So that is identical rhyme. Now, next is internal rhyme. What is internal rhyme? No, Kavita, right is not actually identical rhyme. I am saying that words will be same. So right and right words are not same. Okay. So here you can see that the spellings are also will be same. No, that is not identical rhyme, Kavita. Day by day. So day and day, the words are same, spelling are same. But if you say right and right, then pronunciation will be same, but the spelling is not. Yes, night. No, night also not. If you use the word night in two different sense, then it can be identical rhyme. Okay, you can see the spellings are here also different, but day and day, is the spelling different? No, the word is same, day, but at one day it signifies the whole time span, and at the next moment it signifies the particular time of the day, that is morning time. Okay. So as yes Kavita. So if we use night in two different sense, night can mean the night time, or night can also mean death, right? So in that case it will be identical rhyme. Clear now? Okay. So next is internal rhyme. What is internal rhyme? Internal rhyme means rhyme within the single line of a verse. So the rhyme is within the line. Words from the middle of the line is rhyming with the end one. So in a single line, words are rhyming with each other. That is called internal rhyme. And sometimes it occurs within some lines of poetry. Sometimes it occurs within some lines of poetry, not a single line. So it may be occur within some lines of poetry. It may not be occur in a single line. Okay. So you can see this example. Every day I say, I wonder if I may. This is a line. Okay. But day, say, may, all are rhyming together in a line, in a single line of verse. So it may be occur in a single line, or it may be occur in within some lines. That is also an example of internal rhyme. Clear? So here day, say, may, all are rhyming within a single line. That is internal rhyme. Okay. Now next is half rhyme. What is half rhyme? Half rhyme has a number of names. It can be called slant rhyme, imperfect rhyme, partial rhyme, near rhyme, lazy rhyme. So many names are there of a single type of rhyme. So what is half rhyme? That words are similar but not identical sounds. So half rhyme means that words are almost similar but not exactly rhyming. For example, quick and back. Okay, almost similar. Here is also CK, here is also CK. Okay. Climb and thumb. Rhyming but not identical. Right. Here is also MB, here is also MB. This is not rhyming like bat or mat. Okay, this is exact rhyme, bat, mat. But if I say climb or thumb, it may it is rhyming and also at the same time not rhyming. So that is why it is half rhyme or lazy rhyme or imperfect rhyme. So words are similar. My kind of rhyme. Okay. So yes. Okay. So yes, we often write it in imperfect form. So the words are not rhyming exactly. Okay. So next is masculine rhyme. This is often asked, masculine rhyme and feminine rhyme. So what is masculine rhyme? Masculine rhyme means rhyme between final stressed syllables. So it is rhyme between syllables. Okay. So the stressed syllables are rhyming. Support and report. So port is your stressed syllable. This is rhyming. Dime and sublime. Okay. So this lime and I'm, these two words are rhyming. These are stressed words, right? Support, report. So port is here stressed. So when some final stressed syllables are rhyming in a word, that is called, rhyming in a stanza, that is known as masculine rhyme. Okay. Then what is feminine rhyme? Feminine rhyme means it is also known as double rhyme. It is that two or more syllables rhyme with each other. So there is no point of stress. There is two or more syllables rhyme with each other. So in masculine rhyme, we will find the only the final stressed syllables are rhyming with each other. Okay. But in feminine rhyme, you will find that two or more syllables in a word are rhyming with each other. How? Backing and hacking. So you can see back is rhyming with hack and ing is rhyming with ing. Right? So double rhyme. Backing, hacking. Moaning, groaning. Moan, groan, this is rhyming, and ing is rhyming with another ing. So this is called double rhyme or feminine rhyme, when two or more syllables are rhyming with each other in a single, in a stanza of poetry. That is feminine rhyme. Okay. Now, what next? Next is head rhyme. What is head rhyme? Head rhyme means it is also known as initial rhyme or alliteration rhyme. It is very similar to alliteration. I have taught you alliteration. Same consonant sound is used at the beginning of words, just as same as alliteration. Sun and sand. Okay, so sound S is used here. Blow and blew. So B sound is used here, right? Merry and monkey. So M sound is used here, right? So these are all head rhyme, which is initial rhyme. You can see the starting point of a word is actually rhyming, right? The initial sound of a word, that is rhyming. Now, next is I rhyme. What is I rhyme? I rhyme means associated with spellings, not sound. Okay, it is associated with spelling. Two words having almost similar spelling seems to be rhymed when pronounced, but actually it is not. That is why I rhyme. Because देखकर लग रहा है कि rhyme होगा, लेकिन actually में rhyme नहीं है. So how? Move and love. There is no rhyme between them, but the spellings are almost same. There is also OVE, OVE, right? So when we read these two words, we often think that it will rhyme, but actually it doesn't rhyme. That is why it is called I rhyme. Okay, I rhyme. Then cuff or bow. Pronunciation are different, but spelling are almost same. O-U-G-H, O-U-G-H. When we read the words, we think that cuff will be matched with bow. But if we pronounce it, we will find that no, there is no rhyme between these two words. So this is called as I rhyme. Okay. Now what next? Light rhyme. What is light rhyme? Light rhyme means the syllable of a particular word which is stressed and another is not. A particular word, a syllable of a particular word is stressed and another is not. How? Frog is stressed and dialogue. Frog and dialogue. So dialogue is dissyllable word. So the first is stressed, another is not. Right? Mat and combat. Mat is stressed and combat. Com is stressed but bat is not. So when this kind of rhyme occur, this is known as a light rhyme. Frog, dialogue, mat, combat. Okay. Now, what next? Macaronic rhyme. What is macaronic rhyme? Macaronic rhyme means words of two or more different language are rhymed. Okay, two or more different language. Faber and amour. So amour is not a English word, right? Amor vincit omnia, it's a Latin word. So an English word is rhyming with a Latin word, almost close rhyming. Faber, amour. Then monophonic, monotonic and meolenic. Now meolenic is not English word, right? So when words of two or more different languages are rhymed, it is called macaronic rhyme. Okay. Now, what next? Perfect rhyme. Perfect rhyme is what I have actually said right now, that when words are matched perfectly and exactly. This we can see very much in nursery rhyme poetry, right? Cat, bat, hat, egg, beg, leg, man, pan, sun. Man, pan, sun, run. They are all exact rhyming. There is no point of half rhyme or lazy rhyme. It is also known as true rhyme. So truly the words are actually creating rhythm. So that is called perfect rhyme. Okay. Now next is rich rhyme. What is rich rhyme? Rich rhyme means rhyme among words which have different spellings but same pronunciation. Yes, this is what Kavita you are saying. This is called rich rhyme. When different spellings but same pronunciation. Yes, what Kavita has said. Right, right. Lesson, lesson. See, see. Leave, leave. So spellings are different but pronunciation is same. That is rich rhyme, Kavita. The example which you have given, it is rich rhyme. Night, night. Yes, this is also an example of rich rhyme. Pronunciation is same but the spelling is different. Meaning is also different. Right? So that is. Now next is scarce rhyme. What is scarce rhyme? Scarce rhyme means a kind of imperfect rhyme used for those words which have very limited rhyming words to match. So that is why the rhyming words are scarce rhyme. Okay. We have just finished Kavita. Only 2-3 types are remaining. Okay. So used for those words which have very limited rhyming words to match. That means motionless and oceanless. Very limited words are there, but you need to match in any way, right? So that is known as scarce rhyme. Now next is syllabic rhyme. What is syllabic rhyme? Syllabic rhyme means when the last syllables of two or more words are rhymed. When the last syllable of two or more words are rhymed is called, it is also known as tail rhyme. Okay. For example, silver, clever. This is rhyming. Fashion, fashion. So shun and shun is rhyming. So when the last syllable is rhyming of two or more words, okay. So that is a syllabic rhyme. मुझे daily notes बनाना होगा. मैम बहुत unique things लाते हो. Thank you. Okay, thank you Kavita. Yes, your handwritten notes will help you in the exam. That is the ultimate thing. So thank you Kavita. Thank you all. Okay, then is ranged rhyme. What is ranged rhyme? Ranged rhyme means an imperfect rhyme. A stressed syllable is rhyming with an unstressed one. Okay, so stressed and unstressed syllable के बीच में जो rhyme है, for example, caring and wing, lady and bee. Okay, so these are examples of ranged rhyme. Now another very important thing is sprung rhythm. What is sprung rhythm? You all know that sprung rhythm is introduced by Hopkins. You will find it in Hopkins' sonnet. So what is sprung rhythm? Imitates the rhythm of natural speech. Each foot begins with a stressed syllable which may be stand alone or be associated with some other unstressed light syllables. Okay, so there is an example. Glory to be God for day-filled things. Glory to be God for day-filled things. I caught this morning's me neon skin. So this kind of rhyme is there, sprung rhythm. Okay, the sour scythe cringe and the blear share come. So these are all examples of sprung rhythm. This is from the Rake of Duchess Land by Hopkins. Okay. So, and this is the last rhyme, approximate rhyme. What is approximate rhyme? It is when the consonant sounds are same but vowel sounds are different. That is called approximate rhyme. Blade and blood. So consonant sounds are different but vowel sounds, consonant sounds are same but vowel sounds are different. B is same but the vowel is different. Here is A, here is O. Okay. So that is the example of rhyme. So there are so many types of rhyme. So you should revise it, otherwise you will forget everything. So I have completed Prosody. This is a very long class. Thank you for all your patience for hearing me. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel. This time in question on dealing with the concept of cyborg. Where will we get these things? Is it criticism or world literature, ma'am? Cyborg. Cyborg is actually related to, you can say, criticism, Ruby. Cyborg Manifesto is actually a book by Donna Haraway. Okay, but you can also find it literary terms. Yes, I will explain it in some point of my class. Okay, you may find it in criticism because this is actually a book by Donna Haraway, Cyborg Manifesto. Okay, this is the name of the critical book. So cyborg you will find in criticism, or you can also find it literary terms also. Okay. So yes, thank you all of you for your patience and active participation in the class. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this. Yes, Rupali, tomorrow at 8 a.m. I am telling tomorrow at 8 a.m. I have a special class. Okay. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. I have a special class on Unacademy Learning app. Yes. Okay. Cyborg Manifesto. Yes. Okay. So tomorrow at 8 a.m. I have my special class on Unacademy app. Okay. This will be on Unacademy app. So you can join. This class will be on important Booker Prize winning books. Okay. Important Booker Prize winning novels we will discuss in brief. And tomorrow at 3 p.m. as usual, I have my class on YouTube. Okay, this YouTube channel where you will we will discuss literary terms. Okay, so thank you all of you. So please use my referral code Brishti10 to get 10% off in your subscription plan, and also to unlock your free classes. Okay, to unlock your free classes you can also use my referral code. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. We will meet soon tomorrow. Okay, thanks to all of you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. See you soon.